The epic journey of Soberman, quest for the Saturn ring. In the shadowed annals of the Third Age, where the lavender demon Moor's malice lingered like a foul mist over the lands of Britannia, Soberman the halfling set forth on a perilous voyage. The Saturn ring, forged in the fiery pits of Moor's ancient lair, pulsed with unhuman power upon his finger, a relic of darkness that whispered temptations of dominion and despair. Hidden for millennia after Moor's defeat in the great battle of yore, the ring had passed from the slimy clutches of the orc golem Jabalum to the enigmatic Red X, who guarded it in secrecy for centuries. Now it burdened Soberman, drawing the eyeless gaze of the Nazgûl, Moor's spectral servants, who rode the winds on shadowy steeds, their cries echoing like shattered glass. Soberman had fled the verdant shire with his loyal companions. The stout-hearted gardener Jam, ever faithful with his spade-turned sword. The merry pranksters Bippin and Tippin, whose jests masked their unyielding courage. And the wizard Mormon Shaggy, whose beard flowed like a river of silver smoke, and whose staff crackled with arcane fire. But fate had torn them asunder in the forsaken dwarf mines of Khazad-dûm, where orcs swarmed like vermin and a monstrous Borg, a demon of flame and shadow, had dragged Shaggy into the abyssal depths.
"Fly, you fools!"
Soberman escaped, but the loss gnawed at his soul like the ring's insidious pull. At the Council of Elves in the ethereal halls of Ravenwort, wise lords and ladies, elves with eyes like starlit pools, humans clad in weathered armor, and even a dwarf or two with axes gleaming, debated the doom that loomed.
If Moor rises anew, Britannia shall drown in eternal night, where the living envy the dead.
The Saturn ring, they decreed, must be cast into the volcanic heart of Mount Gloom, the very forge of its creation, to unmake Moor's power forever. No army could assail Moor's fortified realm of lavender, teeming with orcs, trolls, and worse. Only a small fellowship could slip through the shadows. Thus, the Fellowship of the Ring was born. Soberman as the reluctant bearer, joined by the archer elf Leggy, swift as the wind, the dwarf Gimlet, gruff and unyielding with his battle axe, the human prince Arrogant, heir to a fallen throne, wielding the reforged sword Narsil, and the remaining hobbits. They traversed treacherous paths, evading Nazgûl blades and orc ambushes, until they reached the shimmering borders of the land of mystical dreams, a realm where reality bent like a dreamer's whim, where trees whispered secrets, night bloomed with ethereal light, and day shrouded in soft twilight. Here, the Lady Galadriella, queen of the Dreamweavers, offered sanctuary in her golden boughs. But as Soberman's boat glided upon the silvered waters of the Dream River, the ring's weight grew heavier. The Nazgûl pursued relentlessly, their black cloaks billowing like storm clouds. One fateful eve, as the boat neared the dreamland's heart, a Nazgûl arrow pierced the mist, wounding Bippin.
The ring calls to them.
Deeper into the land of mystical dreams he wandered, where illusions danced, feasts that turned to ash, loved ones who morphed into monsters.
"The flame purified me," Shaggy intoned, his eyes ablaze. But you, Soberman, must resist the ring's siren call. It promises mastery, but delivers chains.
Reunited, they pressed onward, but betrayal lurked. Arrogant, tempted by the ring's visions of kingship, attempted to seize it, fracturing the fellowship. He fled into exile, vowing redemption. Soberman, with only Jam by his side, ventured into the barren wastelands of Meal, where jagged rocks clawed the sky.
There they captured Jabulum, the wretched orc golem, who slithered and hissed, "Precious, my precious Saturn ring."
Bound by pity and cunning, Soberman forced Jabulum to guide them through secret paths toward Mount Gloom. Treachery abounded. In the swamps of dead marshes, ghostly faces lured them astray, and Jabulum's dual nature, golemish malice warring with flickering remorse, led to ambushes. Orc hordes clashed with the Fellowship's remnants in epic skirmishes. Leggy and Gimlet, now unlikely friends, tallied kills in the forests of Ithilien, while Shaggy rallied human armies against Mor's encroaching forces. At last, Soberman and Jam scaled the fiery slopes of Mount Gloom, the air thick with ash and the ground trembling with Mor's awakening rage. Jabulum betrayed them anew, biting off Soberman's finger to claim the ring. In a cataclysmic struggle atop the volcano's rim, Soberman wrestled the creature, but it was Jabulum's greed that sealed fate. He plummeted into the magma, the Saturn ring melting in the inferno. Mor's essence shattered like glass, his lavender tower crumbling, his armies scattering in disarray. Britannia breathed free once more. Soberman, scarred but heroic, returned to the Shire, forever changed by the unhuman shadows he had borne. Yet in quiet moments, he gazed westward, toward the undying lands, where wounds of the soul might heal. And so ends the tale of Soberman's journey, a saga of friendship forged in fire, courage against cosmic evil, and the triumph of humble hearts over the grandest darkness. In the annals of elves and men, it is sung eternally. One ring to rule them all, one ring to find them, one ring to bring them all, and in the darkness bind them. But through Soberman's valor, the bind was broken.